Today we are going through monopoly. So we do definition. So monopoly in the marketplace indicate the existence of a sole seller. This may take the form of a unified business organization, or it may be association of separately controlled firms which combine or act together for purposes of marketing their product, (e.g. they may charge common prices). The main point is that buyers are facing a single seller. Sources of monopoly. So the first source is exclusive ownership and control of factors input. The second is patent rights, e.g. beer brands, for example Tusker. The third one is natural monopoly, which results from a minimum average cost of production. The firm could produce at the least cost possible and supply the market. The fourth one is market franchise, i.e. the exclusive right to supply the product or commodity. So we'll be going through price and output level of a monopolist. A monopolist, being the sole producer and supplier of the commodity, is a price maker rather than price taker, as the price and quantity he will sell will be determined by the level of demand at that price, and if he decided on the quantity to sell, the price he will charge will be determined by the level of demand. The monopolist, because is the sole seller, faces a market demand curve which is downward sloping. Total revenue is obtained by multiplying price by quantity demanded or sold at that price. Marginal revenue is obtained by subtracting the previous total revenue from the next total revenue resulting from the sale of an extra unit of output. So it will be noted that average revenue values are plotted at quantities, while marginal revenue values are plotted between quantities. The graph shows that marginal revenue is below average revenue for a straight line demand curve. The marginal revenue curve is twice as steeply sloped as the average revenue curve, and the two meet the vertical axis at the same point. So we'll do a short run equilibrium for monopoly. So all firms are assumed to aim at maximizing profit or minimizing losses. The monopolist controls his output or price, but not both. The monopoly maximizes profit where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, into bracket the necessary condition of profit maximization. So we also have monopolistic practices, which will state them and describe each of them. So the first is exclusive dealing to supply and collective boycott. Producers agree to supply only to recognized dealers, normally one dealer in each area, on condition that the dealer does not stock the products of any producer outside the group. So the second one is the barriers, the creation of barriers to ensure that there is no competition against them, e.g. price undercutting. Individual ensure that text printed collective boycott and exclusive holding of patent rights. The third one is resale price maintenance, into bracket PRM, resale price maintenance. So a monopolistic firm may dictate to wholesalers and retailers the price at which its product will be sold. There is also the last one is consumer exploitation. So a monopolists are known of exploiting consumers by overcharging their products. So up to there, that is the end. So there is also profit maximization. The price charged by the monopolist in order to maximize its profit is higher than would be the case if competitive firm was also maximizing its profits, because in the case of the monopoly, supply cannot exceed what he or she has produced. Cartels. A cartel is a selling syndicate of producers of a particular product. whose aim is to restrict output so that they can overcharge for the product. Thus, they collectively act as a monopoly and each producer is given his quota of output to produce. There is also price discrimination. There are two forms of price discrimination. The practice employed by firms of overcharging different prices to different groups of buyers. And there would be that of charging the same consumer different prices for different units of the same good. In the first case, each group of buyers has a different price elasticity of demand. The fund can, by equalizing the marginal revenue generated by each group, earn a higher level of profit than would be the case of a uniform price were charged. So the preconditions for the successful operation of this form of discrimination are: the first one is ability of the monopolistic firm to identify different segments of the market according to price elasticity of demand. And the second one is prevention of resale by those customers who buy at a lower price. In the second case, the operation involves the firm appropriating all the consumer surplus that each consumer would have got if the price were constant. This can be achieved by setting the price of each unit equal to the maximum amount an individual would be willing to pay as given by the individual's demand curve and is therefore to be employed. So we have arguments for and against monopolies. So the following arguments can be put forward in favor of monopolies. The first one is economies of scale. So as it has the whole market to itself, the monopolistic firm will grow to a large size and exploit economies of large scale production. Hence, its products will be of high quantity. 2. No wastage of resources. There is no competition from other firms. The monopolistic firm does not waste resources in product differentiation and advertising in an effort to capture consumers from rival firms. Number 3, the price stability. Since the monopolist is a price maker, prices under a monopoly tend to be more stable than in competition where they are bound to change due to changes in supply and demand beyond the control of the individual firm. Number 4, research. A monopolistic firm is in a better financial position to carry out research and improve its product than a competitive firm. However, monopolies have been accused of the following weaknesses. The first one is diseconomies of scale. While the monopolist firm can grow to large size and exploit its economies of scale, there is danger that it eventually suffers from diseconomies of scale. This will raise its rack and hence raise its prices. 2. Inefficiency. There is no competition. The firm can be inefficient and as it has no fear of losing customers to rival firms. 3. Lack of innovation. Although the firm is in a better financial position to carry out research and improve its product than a firm in a competitive market, it may not actually do so because of absence of competition. 4. Exploitation. Exploitation of consumer is the most notorious practices for which monopolies are known as in overpricing so as to maximize profits. So I think we leave it at that. Subscribe, like and comment. Adios.